What's up, everybody? Tales from the Flipside, another Monday night Flipside episode 168. We've got Something is Killing the Kids option news. We've got another mini con report, market report, pickups, all the fun tonight. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Tales from the Flipside. Flipside.
What's going on, everybody? We got a not so full house, but at least 4 members here. It's always nice to have at least 4 members here for the show. John Z, Big Leg, Sean is in the house. Carter, make sure you guys check him out. YouTube.com, Mercenaut. Fun show tonight, guys. Right. Well, I think everybody kind of knew that Something was Killing the Children. It got optioned. We've known that for a long time, but I don't think we really knew if it was going to be a TV or a movie. But news coming out now about it being a TV show. I think that was pretty obvious, right, guys? That we were going to see it sometimes.
Yeah, I think so. You know what? I actually thought, and other people were saying today, I had thought that it was I thought there was news last year, or maybe there was just a heavy rumor last year. So today is the most official, I guess. Is that? Well, I mean, we know who dropped it, but I don't.
Yeah,
think
we know who dropped. Yep.
But there wasn't. I mean, other than a trusted source, but not necessarily a specific backup source. So I mean, I'm sure it's true. I mean, it's pretty obvious. And if people wanted to option something like that, if they're following on with the comics and stuff like that, this thing's really organically gotten fans. Some of the later prints and variants are kind of crazy on it, but it's actually one and a half set, because I think I've read half. I think I'm up to like 7 or 8 or something like that, but need to catch up. But I really like it. Very adaptable, considering what's happened so far, and people seem to be really happy. I'm just getting into like the second part of the plot, I think, in those issues, but definitely going to catch up now. So
well, it's been the hottest thing in comics. Well, not the hottest thing in comics, but one of the hottest things in comics for a while now. Do we see even higher prices because of this news?
I don't know. The only comic I have, I raised the price on it.
Well, I mean, it's so hard to say, because I almost have always assumed the price was built into the option type stuff, but I think sometimes we're on the inside assuming what people are thinking, and there's people on the outside that had no freaking clue.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, again, how many people were actually I wonder, how many people were actually reading that book that were non-speculators. And I know that sounds crazy for me to say something like that, but shout out to all the Something is Killing the Children fan, but really I only hear it from a speculation standpoint, because that's my world, right? We all talk to each other on a regular basis in chats or on StreamYard or in person or phone, and we're talking about speculation, right? And Something is Killing the Children has been a speculation darling for a long time. The story's good too, because I talk to the speculators that read it. Shout out Gary Nusser, a speculator who reads, or a reader who speculates, right? There's a lot of those out there too, but how many people, non-speculators, are reading that book? That's the question for me. Like, is there a lot?
I mean, it's
what do you think?
Sort of a strange storm for it also, because what issue is it? Maybe 15 or 16. So that puts it at a year and a half, and so comic stores were closed for a lot of the whole last year. So getting back issues, I don't know if maybe some people were able to find it in some in stores that open. Maybe if they're if the owners don't pay attention to the internet, or the stores that had them were able to sell them on the internet for a markup, because they weren't selling them in person and stuff. So I'm not sure. I can't think a lot bigger fanfare in history from Boom. That wasn't in an original series.
Yeah. Well, didn't Boom strike a deal with Netflix months ago or a year ago. Like there was like a deal that they struck with Netflix for first options to their properties and stuff. So when I look at this Deadline article, it wasn't recently. It was a couple weeks ago, but it says Netflix has struck a first look deal with Boom Studios, a comic book publisher behind the franchises such as Lumberjane, Something Is Killing Children, Once and Future, and Mouse Guard. Now we saw Mouse Guard being talked about lately quite a bit. I brought up Gary Nusser earlier. I saw Gary put out an Instagram post about Mouse Guard. We've talked about Mouse Guard on this channel for quite a while as being that sleeper pick. Once in Future is another interesting one. But Something Killing the Children is that baby, that darling that everybody's hoping to see, at least for me. So I'm looking forward to it. But I didn't get in on all of the spec books. I think I only own 2 issues of Something Is Killing the Children. It's the first ones. Did you guys get in much on this? Did you guys stack much Something Is Killing the Children?
I was able to get in during the summertime. Like it was like right as the boat was about to leave the dock, I was able to grab like a ton of the key issues, including number 1, number 3, that second print, pretty much 1 through 9, and some of those later printings. And I was and then like all of a sudden, like right after that, the light switched, and then the light switched, and then everything just kind of took off after that. So yeah, I was I was very fortunate to be able to get in on those key issues at cover price. Very, very fortunate.
Yeah, thanks RJ for who said that? Somebody let me know that I was supposed to say last year. This article came out last year.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought
so
that was older news.
It has been a while. I did remember, like I said, I remembered hearing about it a while ago, a year ago. So we're finally starting to get news on them actually maybe getting into production or something. Anyways, the app put it out. People got a nice little notice.
This is for that. That's for the people. That's for the people procrastinating. It lit a fire under their ass to go ahead and grab those issues now.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine, he just started getting into Something Is Killing the Children, and I'm just like, good luck, good luck, because it's going to be a bitch to find now.
Yeah, they're on issue 16. Looks like just starting their origin. Thanks to chat for that. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate you guys immensely. 108 live viewers right now. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. It really helps us out in the algorithm and with YouTube and browsing and all that fun stuff. So I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat. See a lot of Flipside family members. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. So,
indie option news is so... it's so hit or miss what's going to go, what's not. I mean, we've seen all kinds of shows go nowhere. I mean, I'm not comparing it to this, but remember Outcast did nothing. The Strain bubbled up for a minute and then that was dead. There's at least as many failures that even make it to a show as there are successes. And, how many get optioned and just sit to die? I don't think that's the case here. My gut is this one has probably got enough wheels to make it to TV, but it just depends. Does the audience really connect or not? Well, what was it? Lock and Key was DOA. Yeah.
Well, another recent indie book got option news. Once Our Land. I believe that's it. Scout Comics books. Shout out to Scout Comics, Mercury Filmworks, and Goodbye Productions to co-produce Scout Comics' Once Our Land series. So there you go, guys. Another old indie darling that jumps up out of nowhere. The old saying that spec never dies. It just takes a little bit of time.
Yeah. Every week somebody says sold too early. We'll check the market report and shake our heads.
Yep. I'm pretty sure Dennis says that's my line.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny stuff. So, all right, guys, make sure you guys do me a favor. Check out all the shows on the channel. Make sure you guys hit that bell. Again, I know I asked for it earlier. It helps us out a lot. You will get notified anytime something new drops. We've got a crazy schedule of shows right now on the channel. I think we're doing a show every 12 hours. That's what we're trying to do. A new show or clip will drop every 12 hours on the channel, and lots of fun stuff. If you guys haven't seen already, I want to give a big shout out to everybody over at the Modern Playbook crew, including this guy right here and this guy right here, who are doing good things in that chat and on that show, and just cool stuff. You guys were on the Key Collector app, which was very freaking cool to see. So much congrats to you guys for doing some good stuff. If you guys saw that and are fans of the Key Collector app, you'll see a big nice Tales from the Flipside logo right there, and you can click it and it'll take you to the Pro Spec 10 app every week. And make sure you guys use the Key Collect the promo code Flipside on Key Collector to get 2 weeks free, I think it is. Something like that. Anyways, we won't talk about it too much on the show. I'll leave that for the Prospect 10. But I just want to congratulate every one of you guys over at Modern Playbook for pulling that off, for putting out good content. So, congrats on that. All right, John, you said you went to a con over the weekend. Another mini con. Look at this, like Carter and Nico.
Well, those Ohio bastards get like one every week. I haven't had a show in Indianapolis that I've tracked down in a year. And this is the first one. Indianapolis is dead for shows. I need to just move, but I don't want to be digging with you guys. I mean, nothing left. But yeah, it was at a Knights of Columbus. I think honestly, it was a show that used to be around, and the guy that was running it maybe moved on and somebody else took it over. So it was a lot of the same dealers I'm used to seeing, new venue. I would say there was probably 25 to 30 dealers, 50 tables, maybe a little more on tables because a few of them had big setups. Decent little turnout. I mean, it's a small show, not a lot of promotion yet. I think it was it's their second attempt because I think they kind of rolled it out and kept getting canceled. Ozzy came down and because he was anxious to get to a show. So we went and checked it out. Some takeaways is the market is hungry. I mean, there was a lot of people, a lot of sharks there. I mean, if you didn't get the deals in the first little bit, man, there was nothing really, there weren't a lot of easy fish to be had. Some observations, dollar books are not dollar books anymore. I mean, my brother walked in and the first 5 or 6 booths he hit were like $2 bins, $5 bins, all this stuff. He did find a few dollar bins, but I mean, I feel like that is the way of the buffalo now because everybody's like, well, people will pay more. I don't really understand it. I don't generally want to play that much for most things unless it's really something nice. I did pick up a few random newsstand variants for a couple bucks each just because that's worth the gamble to me, but it was interesting. Prices were interesting on especially on the low dollar stuff. There was not a lot of wiggle room. It wasn't especially cheap. The high dollar stuff I think was market or thereabouts. I did see somebody with a TNMT1 first print. He didn't have a price on it, and my assumption was if nobody else has bought it, it's way higher than it should be, and I'm not even going to ask.
Yeah.
That's my theory on that book. If it's still on the wall without a price,
can you cut that up between these 6 credit cards, please?
Yeah. Can I just sign over the house?
Yeah, honey, I swear.
Some observations I will have is the dealers that did not used to do a lot of CGC grading, especially on moderns and stuff. There was a lot more graded moderns. They always used to grade the big dog books, the classics, the Silver Age, some of the bronze. But I saw wasn't even on the wall. It was in a box. There was a Clone Wars 198. There was a Losh 2398 in a box. I bought one slab. I'll show it off because I got a shit ton of pickups later, so I'll just show it off. I got a X-Men 205 Campbell 98. These books would never have been slabbed by these dealers 18 months ago. I mean, no way. Never saw modern slabs with most of these guys.
No way.
Wait, hold on. You can't put that away that fast. Because, yeah, we got to talk about this book real quick. This is a lovely, lovely book for all you Hope fans out there, Hope Summer fans. This is the variant to the first appearance of Hope Summers. What'd you pay for that, John?
I paid $350 cash, which I thought was fair. This book is one that I kind of like because I'm just thinking all the young Marvel universe is getting really expensive. I would deem her young X-Men. I know they've got a lot of X-Men stuff to go through, but somewhere she's got to be on the radar. And a variant for $350 to buy in is pretty cheap considering there's $1,000 everywhere else on everything else.
Yep.
So I took that. I kind of looked and there was a few sales trending towards $450 or so online. So at $350 cash without paying fees and delivery and taxes, I said, hell with it. Yes, deal. I did buy one other decent book there. Funny story. This is a book that I would have. I saw it at the LCS, and they were at the show, but I'd seen it at the LCS maybe 3 months ago, and I saw the price, and I went, "That's a wacky price. That's too high. I'm not going to buy that." I saw it this time on the wall. I said, "Just give it to me. I'm going to buy it." And I thought, "Hell, that's a good price now." I bought a Legend of Zelda 1. Paid $50. It is really nice, except there's some kind of indent here. So I'm going to send it to Sean and see what he can do. It's a cardstock cover, so my hopes are minimal, but you never know what the magician can do. No color breaks anywhere.
Yeah.
We keep bringing this book up just because it was on the market report. There was that $2,000 9.8 sale. We talked about a no price variant, and then somebody in the chat said there's other versions. So as I was looking at prices, there's one version with the barcode on this side and another with the barcode over here. And then there's the one with no price. So there's at least 3 versions. I have no idea what the difference between this one and the other one are. Just general listings and looking at the ratio online, this one seems to be a little less common, but no statistical data on that yet.
I'm not even convinced that people buying them know.
No, I haven't. I did some preliminary research and have not found anything. I'm sure if I dig further and further, I will. Oh, shit. I didn't even... God damn it. I saved it for pickups. I just boxed up 40 comics to send to Sean. I guess this will go at another time.
Send it first class, dude. Spend the $3.
No, I just boxed up 40 things this afternoon, and I'm sitting there going, I was going to send that. Fuck.
Hey, the problem is if it's on your CGC order form, you got to send it.
No, it's not. It didn't make it. Completely. It was sitting in another pile. I completely forgot about it. So it's all good. It'll live for another day.
Comic book man problems, man. We don't know where the hell our shit's at.
Well, Ozzy came down and he did some heavy digging. He went in the $2 bins. He found some dollar bins. He loves the 50-cent bins, and there was none of that. But he found, some nice newsstand stuff floating around, some variants, some 1 in 25s for a couple bucks. He grabs those when he can. The problem is, I said, I'm sending a CGC order. He comes down and drops off some books. So I got to go, well, I'm not going to bury leg with 75 books right now. So I took half of his and half of mine and merged them together with the ones we thought were the most important and put those in the box. I said, well, the rest we'll deal with another time.
Fair enough.
So... But yeah, it was a good show. It was good to get out and actually see some stuff. I was hoping to see a few more dealers. I can't say I saw anybody new, but it was good to see it. Prices were not on the low dollar stuff was high, but normal books were normal prices, man. I don't know. Of course, normal prices changes every freaking minute now. I did see several dealers didn't even have prices on their slabs. Unless they put them on the back, I think a couple of them, like, they changed so often, I'm not going to do it. You can ask. So
yeah. And yeah, you can send those another time while we're all deciding whether or not we're switching to CBCS.
yeah, I like I said, it doesn't annoy me the price went up. But hey, can I say who was talking about it 2 days before it happened?
Dude, I think we gave them an idea, and I think we shot ourselves in the foot.
No, they were doing it, man.
Yeah, well, they did it quick. Shit, by this Wednesday.
Well, what was interesting, I honestly thought they were going to take a bigger jump. I mean, if you're doing Fast Pass, you took a beating. I mean, that sucks. Taking away the discount sucks, but
I was afraid they were gonna PSAS, and then it wouldn't even be worth creating like $100 slot, like things that are worth $100. It's not worth grading anymore, and that would not be good for the comic book economy.
I think they're trying to discourage the Fast Pass a little bit, is what I think they were working on. Because I mean, that truly doubled the price of the Fast Pass for you. Because you used to, if you were even the regular tier, you got a 10% discount. So $9 to Fast Pass it versus now you're paying $15. It's it adds up.
Yeah, it does. So Fast Pass is $15. I forget all the exact jumps.
They added a few bucks to the modern. They added.
Yeah.
I think if you're doing older books, you it's going to get quite a bit more. That's why I put in about 10 of those to send your way, just because I don't grade a ton of those in the long run.
Yeah.
I'm going to get them now because those truthfully go up about $20 when all said and done, minus the discounts and everything else.
Yeah.
So
pretty much.
I don't think it breaks the bank. They probably figured out that point that was going to slightly annoy people, but probably not piss them off enough to change.
Yeah, just to make themselves a little happier. Maybe lighten the work. I mean, short term. I mean, how many people really move? And the fact that they did it quick is just. I mean, you can't. You literally, if they only they're changing the price in a week. And a week ago they're changing the price in a week, which is day after tomorrow. You don't have time to get. You can get your order films filled out, but most people don't have time to get them to a backlog presser or something like that. You would have to use their service or not press, which is generally not a great idea unless it's brand new.
Yeah, I mean, I got a handful of books that I'm probably between Ozzy and I that are non-press 9/8, but I mean we're talking 10, 15 books total that we'll take a gamble, we'll probably hit 14 of them, 13 of them, but those are few and far between. Yeah,
well, you never know, and I've been seeing a lot of things. I had one poor guy get literally just hammered for no reason, and I mean, no reason. And I'll point out flaws to people. And I didn't expect to run the gauntlet on a 9/8, but then had somebody else hit 24 out of 25 9/8 with a 9/6. And so it's just like, you know what? The different graders on different days. And that's all I got to say about that, because the quality, I mean, I think would have had the one that hit 24 would have had more 9/8, but like there's the lack in the next one. And I've seen some low modern grades. I keep saying this, without graders notes and no help whatsoever. Like if you drop below 9.6 and it's a brand new modern book, there's no reason not to say like what possibly is wrong with this book other than you just happen to drop it. So
yeah, I mean,
we're dropping shit, dude.
I press most things. I think in 8 years I've sent 3 orders of moderns, small orders, 8-10 books that I can tell, either they're thicker stock or, those kind of things that just don't press, or occasionally you get a couple of really just nice ones and you don't see any defects. I'll send those. But I mean, Ozzy brought down half a short box worth of books, and, he had a stack. He's like, I think these are non-pressers. And I went through and I'm like, dude, I think these 7 or 8, sure, we probably don't need to press those. There were some of the, what's her name? The Green Lantern chick. But those are heavy, square bound books. Those are either spine ticks or no spine ticks.
All the Green Lantern 20s.
Yeah. I mean, so those were no pressers. There was a few others.
Jessica's, yeah.
But I was like, dude, he's like, well, there's that one little thing. I'm like, if you see the one little thing, send it to Sean. Pay the money.
The one little thing is people don't bother if he doesn't need it. I'm like, I hate to tell you this. I can find something wrong with about anything, and that's not because I'm trying to screw anybody over. But if I say doesn't need anything, and then you don't do anything, and then and you get dinged on your your 1/8-inch spine tick that could have come out. And, and everybody, and let's be honest, you see between the lights at a con, the lights in your house, the lights in someone else's house, like people see different things in different lights. Those soft lights at a con aren't always the greatest. That's why you see dudes walking around with like that's why you see dudes walking around with like flashlights, looking at slabs and stuff like that, seeing if they can fix stuff up, And I just don't have the balls to do it. So yeah,
it's funny you bring up lights. So Ozzy was over here, and my youngest, the 8-year-old, the one that did a video with me and pops on every now and again, got interested. He goes, "You guys are grading?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Can I grade some?" So I pulled out some cheap books and let him look, and he's going. He had a flashlight. He goes, "So that's a spine tick?" I go, "Yeah, that's a spine tick." He goes, "I need more light." So because I've got a podcast thing. I got 2 umbrella lights. I got a yellow light in the back. Next thing I know, the kid has pulled 3 desk lamps with white lights. He gets 2 other lamps that happen to have yellow lights on it. He's got my studio lights, and he's got a flashlight. And he's looking all over. I'm like, hell. He's
Good
better
kid.
than half the guys I know that probably send books to Sean at this point.
Yeah, no, hey, you teach them early. Teach them like you taught yourself. Grade magazines in the living room.
Yeah, I mean, his handling is a little off, but I gave him just some books that didn't matter, and he's like, "So what's this? What's this indent in the middle?" I go, "That's an indent." "Oh, what's that do?" I'm trying to explain it. And he's like, he definitely was picking out all the problems, and I was pretty proud.
Yeah, gotta teach him young, man. And he's got better eyes than all of us, I'm sure.
That's true. He's got 30 years on most of us.
Yeah.
Not bad. Yeah, it's always nice when your kid kind of. I don't have kids, but I imagine it's nice when your kid kind of starts enjoying the things you enjoy, and you catch him on his own time, like looking at that stuff.
Oh yeah, that's good.
So, real quick, again, I want to remind everybody, go check out Tales from the Flipside on YouTube, where you're watching this wonderful video. For all the other shows on the channel, we got some really great shows. I want to give a shout out, of course, though, to one show that's doing a great job every Wednesday night on the channel. He reviews all the latest Wednesday night books, and that is the one and only Ultra Maximus. You guys can check him out every Wednesday night here on Tales from Flipside. But you guys should also go over to his channel. I'm going to unsubscribe from his channel real quick to show you guys how this is done. Just click the red subscribe button, hit that bell, and make sure it says all. And then you guys will be doing yourselves a huge favor anytime you guys get a chance to win any giveaways, any cool stuff like that. You guys will all be all set, because in order to win stuff on this channel, win giveaways, get cool stuff, you got to be subscribed. You got to hit that bell. So, and also do yourself a favor and check out all of Ultra's other great shows on his channel, like the Raw Report. He's doing good things. And of course, you guys can check him out every week over on Drunken Chat. So cool stuff. Shout out to Ultra Maximus. All right. He's even there. He is right on time. No problem, brother. All right. What else do you guys? Anything other than at the convention that you saw that was crazy, out of the ordinary? Nothing new. Was everybody looking at their phones? Yeah.
I mean, the usual. I did see, there were a couple guys walking around with mics that, they weren't recording, but they were, podcasters that were potentially looking for content. I saw, like I said, I think the biggest thing to me was just the dealers moving towards graded stuff. I'm sure that it's not ununique to some of you, because some of you, just got a better quality of vendors, places. But when we're talking local, regional type vendors, man, that just wasn't the thing.
Yeah.
I can't say I've ever seen like a Losh 9.8 graded, that kind of stuff. It was just interesting, Star Wars shit everywhere. I mean, Star Wars 9.8s, 3 different dealers had crap tons of it.
Yeah. Not surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see one of the interesting things that Ultra does ask or talks about is these clear boards and how it would help so much at cons. Have you guys seen any of those or bought any of those clear boards lately? Those things are.
I did a review on those.
I was going to ask, Comic Clear?
Crap, I forget the name of the company, but they sent me like a bunch of comic book supplies, and one of the packages was clear boards, and I loved it. I liked it a lot. As far as, because honestly, I still want to open up the book, especially if it's an older book, but it helps.
Yeah, I just love that. This is one that I know about, Comic Clear. You guys can go check them out on IG, Comic Clear boards. But I just love that you can be able to see the back like that so well. And it's going to be interesting to see. I know a lot of, Sean, you talk about this a lot, about the color rub and all that stuff with the boards. And especially one of the things that you reminded me whenever I send you books, you're like, hey, man, try not to send me books in the the half fullbacks, right? Because those fullbacks can really cause more of the color rub.
Yes, they
especially
do.
On the new Marvel books for sure. That's more of what, definitely more of what I'm talking about. It's the new Marvel stuff.
Yeah,
or the last 10 years anyway.
And
you
let's
got
be
one
honest.
there. Oh wait, hold on. Let me put you up here. That's beautiful, man. Look at that. He's already got the clear board.
Yeah. Nice.
Let's be honest. I mean, most moderns don't need a freaking halfback or
something like this. Yeah, for sure. Something like this needs it.
Yeah.
And when I get them, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah,
I had a Silver Surfer 4s I bought in Oklahoma, out shopping with Trey and Joe, and that was the only clear back one I've ever had. But it was worth it.
Well, I sent you one with your double cover book, Sean.
Sweet. That's awesome. Oh yeah. But at least with the Marvel stuff, when it has the abrasive backs, I pull it out with the book, but I don't know what CGC is doing with it. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know what anybody else is doing with these books. I know what I'm doing. And also with shipping, like you're moving like a millimeter. If you're on a shaky plane or something, it's moving like a. I don't know my decimals that well, like 1/10 of a millimeter a second. It probably counts a little bit when it comes to like just particles on paper. Besides
the postman throwing it around.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. If I pick up a box and I can throw it across the room, I mean, they're gonna. I don't, because I can't bring myself to do it, but no one would know because it's gonna get thrown somewhere between me and wherever it's going.
Chris Colbert says, "Well, Carter, why aren't those graded?"
Soon enough. I'm lazy. I'm really lazy.
That's
so if you're not going to sell them, why grade them?
Yeah, you don't need to be in a hurry on those books.
Yeah, I'm in no rush.
That's my theory, man. If I put in a CGC case, it means it's that much closer to being liquid, and I might sell it on the wrong day.
Yeah.
And as my brother says, I have the worst instincts in the world on selling shit.
Same here.
Sell it too early, nonstop. So if I can keep it out of a CGC case, it means it takes a lot more energy for me to get it sold.
Yeah. Well, you kind of brought up the whole CGC thing. We talked about that last week. Like you said, perfect timing. But one of the interesting things that came up on Drunken Chat last Friday after the Hot 10 show, Dennis Barger from Wonderworld Comics came on with us on Drunken Chat. And, of course, we all know Dennis just loves CBCS. And I think a lot of people kind of heard that. And if I remember correctly, Mel said that quite a few people hit him up and said, hey, we're making the change too. Now, I don't truly believe that's all because of Dennis, but I think the majority of it is because people are finally starting to open up to the fact that, hey, the turnaround time, the price of grading, the turnaround time causes them to want to send to CBCS. But it'll be interesting to see if we see a closing of the gap on some of those price differences between CGC and CBCS 9.8, because there is one on certain books. It is astonishing, absolutely astonishing.
Yeah,
So
they just sit out there for like literally half the price. Like I was talking about Batman 423, and I thought I was absolutely insane listening to third print at $800, and then I woke up one morning and it sold, and I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, "I didn't even want to sell that." Like I thought that was a joke, and I'd only bought it like a month or two before that for I don't know two or $300 or something because that extra prints are doing well, and I see the first print going past like $1,000, but then like 3 CBCS 9.8 sitting on my comicshop.com for $350 just sitting there. And I scanned them really well, like for like if they could be crossovers. And I guess it's not necessarily what I was like in the market to do, but I was like, there's no way these are bad purchases. And like the crossover would have been, you're always risking something. You're always risking something. So
I guess not to get on the pro, the con of this, because I have no problem with CBCS. I just, like I said, I've taken some beating on some sales, and I just am not in the mood right now. I don't do enough modern flipping that it matters. Most things that I'm putting in are not rush items.
Yeah.
So turnaround times, yeah, it's nice. I like to get it back, but it doesn't kill me one way or the other. But the card guys have been talking a lot about this, and I've seen some listings pulled. I haven't had any done, but eBay on their new listing parameters where you're kind of, I don't know what it's called, but like, people putting like CGC, not CGC, 9.8 question mark, all these things that are like not clear definitive descriptions are starting to get pulled because it's against the new eBay policy. I know the card guys are really kind of up in arms about it because they've got so many options. I don't know that that's going to help CBCS because most people are still trained to search CGC.
Wait, can you re-explain what's getting pulled? I think that kind of went over. I'm not actually sure.
So some point in the last little bit, I don't even remember seeing the email in my account, but I've been seeing chatter more on the card side where CGC is cracking down on listing titles and using things that are not, I guess, I don't want to say factual, but not true descriptive terms. So, you see a lot of listings that are, let's say PGX or CBCS, and it'll say not CGC or not whatever the other one is, or it'll say 9.8 question mark or CGC 9.6 press for 9.8. These kind of question terms or things that can be misleading, they're starting to pull.
So, I mean? Like if I've got, which I probably do, I think about it. I don't have all my CBCS books. I've purchased. I haven't used them except for some grading clubs like years ago. So like if I probably do it. So if you're putting like,
it's not that it's
book X CBCS 9.8 first appearance blah blah blah, just like 1989, and then at the end not CGC. That's kind of shit they're pulling.
Yeah, I don't.
I use the keywords. I use every word. Like I use every line of all my listings for keywords. I put weird numbers at the end, like whatever. People even.
Yeah, I've
do that. Oh, you clicked on it, didn't you?
I don't think it's a new policy. I just think they're seeing more of it. I have seen a lot more of it in, like I said, I've seen 3 or 4 card guys talking about it in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and guys talk about their listings getting pulled. So I don't know if it's something exclusive to them that's happening, but I think eBay is getting a little more into it. So
yeah, all right. Well, we'll see. Yeah, and they there's all those extra options. Like it used to be just search with the title and like all the different stuff that they would do, and it used to be really easy. Like I could take pictures of like some slabs or comics or stuff like that, and I'd be bored at work, and I would just go like, and you can't use templates on an app. And so just when I had some downtime, I go create from, and it'd be like just another 9.8 because I use the same shipping, blah, blah, blah. But now I do fucking main character, year, grade.
Oh yeah. They want so much shit.
And it's so easy to accidentally put shit in a listing that's wrong if you do it that way. So literally, like, I mean, I have templates I use, but I type up all my templates online and I do it the reverse. I've always taken phone pictures. I make the templates online, and then I either, if I feel like sending an iCloud link, I will. Otherwise, just whenever I get a chance, I'll get into the app and then marry the pictures to the listing and then launch it, because it's easier to do it separately for the cameras because I use my phone. So, which I assume a lot of people do. I can tell.
Even if you're organized, I did a bunch of Silver Age, run stuff, and I start with one and I change it, and every once in a while you forget to change a number, and all of a sudden people are emailing you, go, you have the issue 36 up, but it's 37. Which is it? What do you think? Look at the pictures.
Yeah.
Well, I've been screwed on that before, where you list something wrong because you're used to using a template, and it turned out well in my case. I listed I had a 9.8 360 Amazing Spider-Man 361 that I thought that I listed a newsstand and a direct, and then I forgot to change when I listed the direct. I forgot to change it from newsstand, so the guy bought it, and then before I sent it out, he was cool enough. He hit me up and he's like, "Hey, I noticed it's not a newsstand on the picture," and I'm like, "Oh man, that's my bad. If you don't want, I'll refund the money." And he hit me back up and he was like, I looked at the price of a newsstand and I looked at the price of a direct, and I'm still getting a good deal on what a direct usually goes for. So go ahead and send it out. So I got very lucky. Yeah. But sometimes that doesn't happen. One of the things that was interesting on the show is, when we brought up the CBCS stuff and Wonder World Comics, who's another retailer, we instantly got two big retailers, friends of the show, Wanted Comics, saying that he asked about CBCS this weekend, and Jesse James saying that, he dropped CGC and is exclusive with CBCS right now. So it's very interesting to see these bigger retailers maybe start deciding to make that move.
Now, what does CBCS have to do in order to bridge that gap?
Dude, I mean, okay, so I don't know. I like little issues. I started looking up. I was like, okay, so where are we getting on the difference with the price and stuff like that? Because people never have me send books there, and I have a CGC dealer account, so I use it. So sending, I started looking dude, even their mobile website is shit, and you're trying to get information out of it just isn't good. They have these blurbs that a high school senior wrote for extra credit years ago and barely changed them. And I'm scrolling side to side on my phone when I'm just trying to read stuff, even though it's supposedly mobile optimized. I'm like, well, that's one step. And I really thought partnering with Beckett would be holy shit, here we go. But I guess I don't know, whoever it is, so the old people out there, they're stuck with CGC for so long, and the people on the boards. I do think the one thing that they needed to do, they just did, which is the registry, so we finally are having census numbers for CBCS. So finally getting CBCS numbers is definitely helpful to see what's out there in grading. You can sort of compare, because that's I'll be honest, one of the things that when I choose about grading comics and things like that, when I choose what I'm going to grade, I'll definitely honestly I'll look on the census and I'll be like, oh shit, I can fast track this, and there's only 5 or 10 or something 9.8s, and I think I can get a 9.8 or 2 real quick and that, and compete with whatever might be on eBay. And I've been doing that a lot. So at least at CBCS, you can do that. But I don't know. I think their grading's just as accurate. I don't like their cases as much, unfortunately, but I don't hate them. They're not terrible. I have plenty of CBCS for personal collection, and I have no problem paying for less on a Masters of the Universe 9.8 or something I'm not planning on getting rid of anytime soon. I'll take a discount for 9.8 because I think their grading is real. So it's fine.
I think truthfully, they just need to take advantage of a CGC, issue once in a while, because every time CGC has done something stupid, they seem to unluckily follow with something stupid, and maybe this price increase is going to help them, because if they can just hold steady, they can keep their turnaround times good. There'll be some people that shift.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of these, the variant houses, if you want to call them that, are pumping out variants per week. If it gets to the point where they can't get these 9.8 pre-grades for 6 months, they're gonna need to do something else. Some of them are gonna go to CBCS.
Well, let's talk about this. Could this be something else? And Sean, I see what you responded to this, and this would be very interesting because for those of you guys that don't know, PSA recently announced, PSA card grading recently announced that they purchased some new technology or a new company that created a new technology for AI or artificial intelligence or PC grading, computer grading, that will help them. I believe they said off the initial grading checkout, right? So that it'll sort them in what they should be. Could be very interesting for cards. I could see grading, AI grading, be so much easier for cards. With comics, it's harder to grade a comic based on just what you're seeing, right? You still have to open pages. You have to look through a book. Sean, you immediately responded in the chat that it's a long ways off. What do you think about AI grading? Do you think it's ever anything that we can get to?
The comics are just, it's taken this long. And I had a friend that was actually working on this. I had a friend that was actually working on this with someone else. And I don't think that they're about getting an AI machine. This guy and his technology told me a year ago, trying to get this to the grading companies and stuff like that. And he could never get the guy to produce what they needed to turn around and stuff like that. So it's taken a long time for them to use the AI stuff. But I'm sorry, like a tiny little, a tiny little card to put it in a machine to scan both sides, to scan the surfaces, and then eventually there's got to be levels of detection and depth and like scratches you can and can't see, and then they'll have to have it. I think they'll have to have it verified by human eyes for a long time, because there's something that you literally can't see, but it's detecting like these micro abrasions and stuff like that. Like, they don't want that. And the problem with comics, no matter what, you have to have a human and open it up. Unless you, look at the printing damages that come off for comics. Can you imagine scanning something where that thing someday in the future can be delicate when Westworld comes true? Okay, where those kind of AI can look through. But in comics, you have to look in every single page. You have to. You know what I mean? Like, if we want to do a test, we want to write our name in the middle of some like brand new modern comics or something, because there's no way you can't grade a comic without looking at the pages, without counting the pages, without seeing what's in there. And can you get like a good gauge maybe on the surface? Maybe. But like, even CGC grades Action Comics 1 with their bare hands, because they get to get a feel with it. And you know what? Their explanation, I wouldn't touch it with I wouldn't do it. But I'm not paid whatever the guy is paid to grade that book. But there is a better, you do get a better feel in pressing comics. There's times when I'm not sure what I'm working with, and I always wear gloves, but I'll be like, wait, I'm not familiar with this book. I need to touch the cover. I need to know what kind of paper that I'm working with. And so I can see the same thing with grading, So I like it. Yeah, I can't smell.
They can though. You may think they can't, but they can.
Oh man, they'll tell you which one of us are stinky. So so I don't know. I don't know how it can go through the whole book. I don't know how it can do. I can, it can take like the common, and think of all the angles of every scan that you have to have. Maybe my brain's not big enough to wrap around it, but I just can't see it happening.
So here's a couple thoughts. There's pros and cons. Reason one that could work is, how much of their grading is brand new books off the shelf? Do you think they're really counting pages on 2,200 copies of Something's Killing the Children that ran through in the first month? Part of me really doubts that.
I hope so. If that's one of the things that they say they do on every book and they don't do it, that's a problem, right?
I don't know, but do they need to on brand new releases?
I don't think so, but hey, you'd be pissed if,
Is anybody going to crack it out and tell you?
Maybe in the future, maybe not now, but if that becomes an issue where they aren't doing it, and maybe there was. I agree.
That's a page counting thing. Yes. Half these things are not even touching the public; they're going direct from the printer to whoever made the variant cover and straight to CGC or CBCS or whoever. Now the negative is, Sean and I have talked about this. I like camera pictures because people are like, why do you not use a scanner? I used to get a lot more complaints about a scanner because you don't get all the angles. And if you're using lights and angles on a camera, you can kind of catch those defects that a scanner wouldn't get, and you can show them. I mean, I can take 10 pictures of a book and make it look as great as I want, or I can make it look as bad as I want. And it depends what kind of seller you are on that. But a scanner is going to give you one image. So
I think that's a great topic for a future episode is, taking the best pictures you can for raw books, slab books. I mean, we always make fun of the red chair. We always make fun of stair pictures or, whatever. But the reason people do that is because that's a good pick. That's the best.
They found the lighting that works.
Yes. So that we'll keep that in our back pocket for a future thing. One thing I want to do another quick shout out. This is kind of interesting. So shout out to Pop Archival. He's in the chat tonight. If you guys aren't following on Instagram, make sure you do. He also has a product, Instagram Pop Shipper. But I thought this was very interesting. He said, beginning in May, we will start converting 50% of our slabbed inventory into DeFi NFT world. We've been devouring blockchain content and feel that we can grow our community on the Wax platform. We strongly appreciate the peer-to-peer markets. Not perfect, however, it's a place to start, and sometimes that's all we need. And this was very interesting to me, and I'd love to hear more about this, how this works, because I don't get it. Does that mean that what are we doing? Just taking pictures of our own PSA 10 and selling them? How are the NFT? How does this translate into the NFT world? This is so interesting, and Pop Archival is one group. They're over there really, really embracing this NFT thing, and I think it's very interesting. So maybe one of these days we'll have to hit him up to get him on the show. But this is something I'd like to hear more about, and how some of these companies are deciding to get in, just jumping into this world with that Wax platform, the NFT. What is it called? I think Topps is using it for their NFT stuff too. So we'll try and get him to jump on here or give us a little bit more information on this stuff, because it's super, super interesting. So make sure you guys go follow Pop Archival on Instagram. Here he says that we'll have to get together soon. Still moving into our new space, so we'll hear about that in the future, more in the future. But I know a ton of people are jumping on this NFT platform, whether it's artists, whether it's card companies. We're seeing Topps now do it. NBA Top Shot has just blew everything up. There's artists that are making Boss Logic making all this money selling NFTs, and musicians, and it is absolutely crazy, and it is something that we are going to have to talk about in the future, because it's taking over. Very interesting stuff. All right, let's see here. What else we got? Here we go. This is kind of a bummer, but it is very necessary. Shout out to the Mighty Mel V, and much love to the Mighty Mel V right now. Mel had to put down his dog, and there is nothing worse than losing your best friend. And most people, their dogs and cats and their pets are so important to them, and I'm one of them. So much love and positive thoughts out to the Mighty Mel V and the Mrs. Mel V for losing their dog Chloe, who was such a big part of their lives. So just want to give a quick shout out. So make sure you guys, if you know Mel, if you know Mel, shoot him a text, let him know how much you care about him, and hopefully that they can get through this, because I know they're having a really rough time about this.
Rest in peace, Chloe, an original member of Unpressable Defects. You could hear her on every single show.
I remember when
Chloe was on every show.
I remember when I was subbing in sometimes, and we'd be yelling back and forth, which of our fucking dogs is that? Never Sean's, though.
He wasn't with me most weeks. But he's quiet generally.
Yeah. So much love to Mighty Mel V and the Mighty Mrs. Mel V. So make sure you guys let them know what you think. Give them a shout out. All right. anything else that you guys got? Do you want to jump in, get into the market report? Anything else? I mean, we could talk a little bit about Falcon and Winter Soldier. I don't think we got to talk much about the ending. Everybody's kind of talked about it. We all knew that costume was going to be in that case.
I mean, I thought it did a good job. I thoroughly enjoyed the series. I think it kind of did a good job redeeming some of the characters. I thought it was a pretty well done story.
Yeah. Marvel's done great on everything. Listen, I know we haven't gotten some of the major, appearances that we were hoping. We were hoping Mephisto. We were hoping Adam Blue Marvel. We were hoping Omega Red. Whatever. We didn't get any of them. We got none of them. But they were still really fucking good. I think that they did a great job. The action was awesome on Falcon and Winter Soldier. They really hyped that up. They did a great job with that. And I'm excited about everything that Marvel's got coming, including Shang-Chi. It doesn't look like a Marvel Universe movie, but in Feige, I trust, So
apparently never enough comics says he hated it, but I'm like, I don't know, man. It depends what you're expecting. I just thought it was what it was. I will say this. My youngest child couldn't get into it. I think it was too far over his head. But the other two liked it, and I enjoyed it. It was a good entertaining story. Had some character growth and some characters that hadn't had their time to shine.
Yeah, I did think the costume was great too. Shout out to Ryan Booker, who says costume was great. Sam should have had some lasting spec in the market, the new Captain America, and I think he will. Right? I think that's one of the characters that will have some lasting spec value. We got the market report coming up later, and there's a couple books in there where, some of that spec value is dying, right? Some of that WandaVision spec value stuff is not where we thought it would be, right? So I think it could come back. I think some of it can come back, but I think that the Falcon and Winter Soldier, Captain America spec for Sam is one of the things that is worth maybe.
Yeah, not WandaVision, $1,000 spec for a girl that's known for a meme now.
Yeah.
Well, Cap 4 was announced.
Yeah.
So all that stuff is still in play, which is awesome.
Yeah. And I like that they announced Cap 4. You know what I mean? Like one of the things that before Falcon and Winter Soldier, I was not a fan of Sam as Cap. Just wasn't. It wasn't terrible, but I really loved the Bucky as Cap. That run, that Brubaker one was
that
so
was a
good
run. Love that run.
Yeah.
So I was really wanting to see that. And I wasn't disappointed because I didn't see it. I thought they did such a good job on how they played it. I thought that last episode, the way he looked was great. Other than, some of the things that, it's movies and you just have to, kind of put that disbelief, in the back of your mind, with the cap, the shield catching and all that crazy shit. But it was fun to watch. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I think everybody's also talking like it's going to lead to more movies. I think Disney's going to double down on the streaming stuff. I mean, movies are unpredictable to a degree, but if they can keep the streaming network generating $16 a month times, a couple million people, they're doing pretty well.
Yeah, it's basically like everybody seeing a movie a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not movie theaters are open though.
Well, not here.
They are. Shit, really?
No, they. Well, I think it's more by choice because nobody's going. But yeah, they're not. Most of them around here are not open.
Chris says, so will Val Contessa from the Thunderbolts or form the Thunderbolts or Dark Avengers? What do you guys think?
Thunderbolts sort of more announced. I might think more Dark Avengers, but
call it the Thunderbolts.
So would Zemo lead the Thunderbolts? Isn't that?
Or is it John
could
Walker,
they do
Hydra Cap?
Huh. I don't know. Yeah.
No, he's not going to be Hydra Cap. They did too much to make him U.S. agent,
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, so I'm not sure, but that's a good question.
I really enjoyed the Isaiah character. I mean, he did a great job.
Yeah, and I mean, and he's obviously they probably will do some flashbacks because I mean he's not as old as they did his makeup to be. You know what I mean? They can use the same guy to you know what I mean? They didn't just pick an old dude.
Ultra
Unless
says
he-
Dark Avengers are
he-
are the Thunderbolts, so yeah, I could see that.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe. All right. Let's get into some
The market report here.
let's do this. Shout out to everybody watching live. We really appreciate the hell out of you guys. Right before we go on the market report, I always do this, man. I always do this. I'm sorry, brother. I want to give a shout out to another member of the Flipside family. If you guys aren't watching Comic Book Women, make sure you guys tune in every Tuesday night. Jen, Lucy, and Laura, the gang, they do a great show over there. They have a YouTube channel called Nearing Nirvana that they're starting, where they talk about some cool stuff over there. But also, Laura is one half of Bird City Comics, and of course, Bird City Comics has been with us for a while now. So make sure you guys go check them out at birdcitycomics.com. Got a lot of really cool exclusives going on over there. This is one that I thought was very interesting. This is the latest Greg Horn variant they did
for that one.
Yeah, Miles Morales 25, the hidden Bird City Comics variant. Absolutely gorgeous. Greg Horn, man, he is amazing when it comes to like colors and stuff. Like,
Yeah, his coloring is above.
out of this world, yeah. Great stuff. So anyways, make sure you guys go check out birdcitycomics.com for all their great exclusives and check out some really cool Greg Horn stuff over there. All right, let's get into the market report.
Hey, but before because I see it's not on the market report. Carter, did you see your Wolverine Deadpool variant sale on eBay?
No.
I didn't.
A
I didn't get
9.8
that.
just sold for $9,800.
Hold up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let me bring this up.
It was 10,000 or 1,200 or 10,000 or 10,200, something like that OBO, and it sold for like 96 or 9,800 when you.
What is that issue? What's the name of that issue again?
It's Wolverine
Scene.
1, but it's a Campbell Deadpool. You just sort by highest price.
Yeah.
Deadpool Campbell.
Yeah.
Well, for those who weren't here for that episode, Carter, explain real quick
Let me see
about
if
that fun little buy.
Yeah, I was at a show a couple of weeks ago. There was a dealer that got a massive Marvel collection, and oh wow, and in it was a ton of just mythic level variants, and one of them was the Siege 3, another was the Wolverine Campbell variant. Where the heck do I have
Which
it?
is sitting right here. It also recently sold in 9.8 for $3,000.
Holy cow. I thought I had this, but I guess I don't see it. But
So that's a 10 grand variant now.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is right here. Has yet to be graded, but yeah.
Yeah, so that top left cell is, as we're looking at it, was 96 or 9,800.
That's a pretty
Wow.
elite club in the 10 grand variants, right?
Yeah.
Holy shnikes.
Yeah.
I mean,
So you made a good choice over your boy.
Hallelujah.
I would have picked it too, even though I'm from California. I do like that Siege.
how many 10 granders are there? I mean, Ultimate Fallout 4, this one.
Just randomly 667.
Is Hush there?
The RP.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think it's broken. I mean, so
Would
there's only,
blow my mind, no, but yeah, I don't
only
think
4 or 5 of them at this point.
so. Yeah. So it's anyway, dude. Good job.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
All right, let's get into it. Here comes the market report, ladies and gentlemen. We'll start off.
No one
All right.
feels bad, Drew.
Starting off with a couple of strong sales on some common books that we keep seeing, but I got to report the news. This was 5,000, what, a month and a half tops? Pushing 7 now. There was another sale, a best offer at 6,700 the other week. Nothing listed, but there's one on MCS. If you look on eBay, it's 7,000 and change. But if you go to MCS, I think you can get it at about this price right now.
Plus 3% plus sales tax. So.
Yeah, well, it's moving. So just mind-boggling. Just it's going. This one not nearly as expensive, but we haven't talked about this one before, at least that I remember, or at least in a really long time. 100 episodes or so.
I'd buy it at that price.
I was watching it and I kind of got distracted and forgot about it. This is the Niagara Falls, sometimes called variant, sometimes called reprint, whatever. It's from 2007. There was a Marvel Adventureland theme park at Niagara Falls that later became Adventureland. They dropped the Marvel, but at the time they had 4 promo comics. This one, a 252, and 2 others. I'm sorry, they don't really matter as much. But this one is a little bit more of a curiosity. It doesn't have the traditional cover. It's got more of a Venom cover, but it's always a cool one to grab. It is interesting to me that it is so damn cheap. I would just think anything attached to ASM 300 would be a little more. I mean, the chromium has kind of went up. This guy has been constantly $100 to $250 for the last
in 98?
5-6 years. Yeah.
Wow. I thought it was easy $100 for all.
You know what? I looked, and every year there's a low sale, a little under 100, and there's a high sale, a little over 200. One year did have a 300. But it's really not done much in the last few years. So probably next sale will be $1,000 because that's how the world works.
There's a 257 also, Niagara Falls.
252?
252, excuse me, yeah.
Yeah.
So 252 Niagara Falls with just him in the black suit, like sort of yellow border.
Yeah, the one was a Marvel Age something, and there was another one. Hold on, I got it on a screen here. Ultimate Spider-Man 6. I don't know what that was. And Marvel Age Spider-Man 2. I don't know what the other ones are, but
yeah.
Another really strong sale here. Kamala Khan, 5,700. Paging Nico.
Sold both mine.
It's time to maybe think about listing.
I think I traded mine in for a sealed Optimus Prime.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about it.
Traded mine for 2 Wolverine 310 variants. But those are they were worth more at the time, and honestly, that 310 plat variant and one's a 9.8 and one's a 9.4. I don't have the 9.4 anymore.
This book's defying gravity right now, as is everything else. Mm-hmm. Makes my Hope Summers feel like a good price at 1/20th.
Yes, yeah.
Just more checking in on Batman Beyond because there's been a little bit of news with Michael Keaton and the DC verse and Flash still floating in that 2,000 range. I mean, it's a little above. I wouldn't say it made a jump. It's just kind of trending a tad up. Let's skip that one. I don't want to do that one. Ghost Rider 8.5, Marvel Spotlight 5. Over 5K now.
There you go. I love it.
Yeah. Whew. No other high grades up. Somebody's got a Stan Lee Sig 9.0 up at like 20K. I can't remember if it's CBCS or PGX or if it's CGC, but something like just absurd.
Dude, it's PGX, like steel color that they did to at least not copy CGC, and it's that one. Whoever it is has a lot of books. They have that key picture in there, right? Isn't that one with they have a key literally like on? They took a picture with their phone. It's in all their listings, but like literally they have ridiculous books, so I can't hate.
No, yeah. This next picture is a sales track, but it's also a lesson for people. I even had some people in the forum hangout debating on how to list something, and this is your answer. These 2 books, both Caliber Presents 1, CGC 9.2, they were actually ended same day, a couple hours apart. One was a starting bid of $4.79 with some shipping on there, and one was a 99-cent auction. I was watching about an hour out, and the 99-cent auction had surpassed it. I honestly expected the other one to disappear. It didn't. It got relisted at the same damn price, and nobody bought it. If you're going to start at a random price, don't do an auction. Do buy it now. People that see these high prices don't usually want to wait out an auction unless you
keep doing the random high price auctions, please.
Well, if you're our audience, I'm gonna try and help you out. But I mean, again, the other guy that did 99 cents and went balls to the wall made out $50 higher and it sold. So, but also a very high sale for a Caliber Presents 9.2. Honestly,
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, the 9.8 is still trending below $2,000. So for a 9.2 to be that high is interesting to me.
It just means Crow fans were not as successful in life as Spider-Man fans.
True. Listen, I still say we're 7 days out from a Crow 9.8. Crow 1's still the book. It's on Comic Link. 4K and change right now with 7 days to go. I am just interested to see what happens because there has not been a 9.8 auction in 18 to 20 months. Lots of heat on this one. Marvel Spotlight 32, Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, Game of Thrones girl, potentially. They keep saying that it's her. I don't know that makes any sense to me because anything that's Spider-Man licensed and Disney is always dicey if that's even possible. So
wait, who are you talking about?
The Dragon Queen from Game of Thrones.
Emilia Clarke?
Yeah.
I thought it was to be Spider-Woman, to be Jessica Drew.
No, it doesn't confirmed. It's just an unconfirmed rule, but there's a lot of like chatter that they think it's her, and I'm like, that makes no sense to me.
All right, I thought I saw something else. All right.
I don't know, but it did result in a big sale. Also, a newsstand Spider-Woman 1, almost $700. That's bam. That's all I got to say.
Yeah,
I don't know. Let's see. People say I don't talk about CBCS. Now, this is not a fair comparison, but this to me is something about the CBCS sellers. The CBCS was a buy it now. The other CGC was an auction. The CBCS sellers freaking short selling themselves and listing cheap. I don't know why you do it.
I don't.
Well, that's the thing is they're so used to hearing that it sells a little less. They list a little less, and they're going to continue to sell a little less.
Yeah.
Have some balls. List high. List high like every other American.
So you're saying one of those both look like CGC to me?
Oh, shit. Was there? I don't know. I thought it was CBCS in there.
No.
Well, whatever. I must have had the little picture. Maybe I got the wrong picture.
Yeah, but yeah.
But to be fair, CBCS, they just list low. Don't list it cheaper. List it the same. Put a best offer. Take it and don't show the world. You want them to catch up. Don't make your price lower and obvious lower. Who thought this was going to be a grand book?
Oh, I definitely did.
Who thought this 10 years ago? 5 years ago, whenever the fuck it was, when it was plentiful and in Five Below packs.
Yeah, another Five Below pack book, huh?
I'm not at. I mean, is it crazy to say that if Silk gets announced, that the regular, Silk Amazing Spider-Man 4 hits $1,000?
I don't even know what to think anymore, man.
I could see this being a much, $2,000 book if that happens, $3,000 book, $4,000 book. I don't know if
it's a Sony product, and we just don't know.
But here's the other thing: a lot of people, since Jump, people thought Silk was a better character than all those characters. I mean, Silk. Everybody was talking about how Silk was such a better character than, at the time, Kamala Khan, Spider-Gwen. I don't know if I heard much about it, but Miles. But out of all the young characters that they dropped in those couple of years, it was Silk that everybody was on from get-go. And then nothing happened. And it felt like Marvel just kind of threw her to the wayside.
Yeah, I don't know what I think, man. It's a very high printed issue in general. I mean, it was a issue 4 of a Spider-Man run. His spec was kind of getting high again. I don't know what I think. I continue to be boggled by some things, and this is one. I don't think it's it's a pretty cover. It's an interesting character, but it's still Sony, and they can fuck shit up. we've got this Morbius movie in the can that God knows what it'll be, if it's going to be fantastic or if it's going to be a flaming turd,
It's gonna be great.
He said that with such enthusiasm.
So I'm completely sure. It's a good actor. It's a vampire. We haven't even had any cool vampires lately, so
Threw this out to our buddy Drew. Posted this. I didn't even know. I don't even think I've ever seen this damn book. Second print, Spider-Gwen 0, 600 for a 9.8.
that's a second print. That's a second print. So it's clearly worth more.
Yes. So just threw that out there because if you don't follow Wanted Comics on IG, he's always sharing some interesting sales that he has.
It's a tough book. It's a thick cardstock cover. I will say, I mean, you can press it, but it's also little defects on this. Sometimes they overlook. And my theory is because they have their own fucking pressing department, and they have to overlook some things. But hey, that's my little theory.
Jump into the big boy again. 9.6.
That looks a little cheap. I don't like that.
It does look a little cheap for a 9.6.
That needs to be at least a 12. At least.
I think that's only $100 off the all time though. I think 92 is the record at 9.6. So, and maybe I'll be fine with it being 12.
Miles at first print still trending around 3K. A little off its peak, but not as much.
Those keep selling for 3,200, and then people keep listing them at like. I know this example is a auction, obviously. But then people start listing with 2,900. You just want to.
Yeah, I haven't seen it drop much below 3. I mean, it's really in that 29 and change to 32. So I mean, you're going to get peaks and valleys depending on who and where. To me, it's the barometer book right now, man.
Yeah, that's a good thing to call it.
Second print, still under $500 on the Pacelli.
That's down. That's down a little though.
Yeah.
That hit 7 or 8. Yeah.
I just don't. It does appears that it's just not going to catch on. I don't know. I don't have any freaking.
How is 600 or 450 to 600 not catching on for that book?
But the other one is 1,000, 1,200.
Yeah, but they could have ordered this one as many as they wanted, right? If they met some qualifier.
They could have ordered the other one as many as they wanted. It's a second print.
Dude, all I know is I don't know why people don't hold the line on the prices. Like undercutting on this one of the most popular characters with one of the biggest possible bright sides of anybody that we can look at right now. Why you possibly decide to just dump for less than, you know what I mean? Why would you sell it for $550 when it already sold for $700?
Yeah. Dennis sold for $550. Nice work.
Well, it's because of CBCS.
I know he was putting that. Listen, I have absolutely zero skin in the Miles game. I'm too dumb and have not kept any. So to me, I'm just watching it from an outsider right now. It's too high for me to jump in. It is purely just observation and interest.
That's not too high to jump in.
Right now, I'm buying other shit that I'm in on. So let's go with that.
Yeah, me too. The book I bought hasn't got here yet, and that sucks. I can't buy anything.
So listen, if I had unlimited funds, I'd be buying some. I don't. So
I just keep tracking. Registered mail, god damn it.
Oh, registered mail's the turd. I hate registered mail. Young Avengers. First print, 1,250.
Ooh-wee.
I really just used that because this book interested me, and I don't think I often see it talked about. Vision Scarlet Witch, Volume 2, Number 12, first Wiccan and Speed, which I don't know is really true, but the first birth of the children. So, 350. I had not really seen a shit ton of chatter about this one. I definitely have not noticed a 9.8 sell, so just something to put on the radar. Other books going through the fucking stratosphere.
Man.
You could have had this for $100 at some point not too long ago.
Yeah. No. It's a fucking great cover, though.
It is a great cover.
I'd love a 9.8, but yeah, I got somewhere else to go with that much money.
This one just went up fast. Also, we talk about first Deadpool. Well, second Deadpool's getting rejuvenated and selling for some numbers that we all thought, whoa. I remember when the movie came out, it was before the movie, it was a $50 book. I think at some point it peaked in the hundreds, 150. And we're like, all right, nice. Now look back at that price and go, what?
We just need to make a second appearance list. That's all I gotta say, dude.
Checking around the world, our friend Lobo is gaining a little steam. I mean, the chances he ends up in a movie right now is just there's too much going on, I think. Yeah,
and it was that was another call from the Modern Spec playbook.
That was my pick.
Was that your pick?
Okay.
Yeah.
I listen. I thought about getting back in on this book, and I don't know. It's cheap enough. It's not a terrible idea. It is trending up a bit because it was under 100. It's under 300 not very long ago.
It's one of the greatest books of the fucking 1980s, and I don't give a shit what anybody says. That, I mean, this is just a wonderful book of a great character that is due to get some non-bad CW airtime or whatever show he was on that just made me sick. And then at least he went back and killed that terrible version of himself that DC tried to Metro retcon.
Meta Lobo.
Hot Lobo.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
This is the book I probably should just buy a handful and move on. And
exactly.
Just not think about it. Yeah.
Lobo will definitely be a household name sooner or later if DC gets their shit together.
Yeah.
Listen, I think DC rides on the rock right now, man.
Yeah, I agree.
DC needs a rock win.
And you know what? And having him do Black Adam instead of Lobo, that's a terrible idea. That guy, he would crush Lobo. No daughter pun intended. He'd be the best Lobo. I mean,
he would have been.
Yeah.
When Jason Momoa was announced, everybody thought he'd be Lobo, right?
Yeah.
And then he turned out to be freaking Aquaman. And it's just like, really? No.
So
that's disappointing.
To me though, right now DC has two kind of things that are, that Wonder Woman 84 kind of didn't go fantastic. We got the Batman that nobody knows what they're expecting. The only thing on the sequel kind of train that's moving is Shazam and Black Adam. So they need Black Adam to be a freaking hit. Because if not, they got not much.
They can't reboot again. Actually, they can reboot again, but ain't nobody want to see that.
I mean, the best movie they've done is The Joker, which wasn't even really a Joker movie. So they're a mess. I don't want them to be a mess. I want them to get their shit together, and I hope The Rock can do what The Rock does. Get people in seats. Thundercats. Fuck, man.
It's crazy.
I listen. I know we all love our childhood, but you compare this to Transformers and G.I. Joe, it is not the same caliber to me.
Homie, you can buy them. You can buy a Seal Toys for that much. No, thank you.
I mean, this book was a turd a couple years ago. Like, just, G.I. Joe 1, Transformers 1 were always $50, $60 books. This was $5, $6, $10. I mean, there must be a loyal base, but to me, I mean, Transformers, G.I. Joe are tier 1. This is a tier 2 thing. I can't see them on the same price comparison. Even Brian's got to admit that, right?
100%. Yeah. But here's the problem, though. We never thought we would see 90% of the stuff we're seeing. So it doesn't surprise me that this nostalgia factor is taking over on all these type of books. All these 80s and early 90s properties. I mean,
no, it doesn't surprise me. But to me, like, okay, if Transformers is 2K and G.I. Joe's 2K, Thundercats is 1K.
I don't know about Voltron as far as like 9/8s go, but I know Raw Voltron #1s are going for an easy 100.
Yeah, they have picked up a ton. I saw one at the show. It was $75.
Wow.
I think DC Comics presents 47. So if we're going first He-Man and Skeletor it's over $2,000 now.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He-Man's a tier 1.
Well,
yeah,
the new
not
news
tier
too.
1.
No, I agree with you. Like seriously, I don't think anybody would disagree that for $2,200 you got to pick a DCP 47 or a Thundercats. You just investing, not necessarily fanhood. Even though there's definitely more Motu fans. I mean, you'd have to go with the first He-Man and a DC title.
Okay, take He-Man out. Where are you going on the other 3?
So Thundercats, GI Joe. Okay, so GI Joe, Thundercats. What was the other
Transformers.
one? Oh yeah, totally. I mean, GI Joe and Transformers are probably preference. But GI Joe, our dads played with GI Joes, right? So
that show was still our show, and you're right. They have an even longer fan base.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying, it's been around longer. So I would go personally personally. DBCP 47. That's me. But I think you can argue GI Joe or Masters of the Universe easily, and then Transformers, and then T-Cats for sure.
Well, even let's go with the argument of how much time is the product in the lexicon. I mean, Transformers had a reboot every couple of years. GI Joe's had a couple reboots, and even Masters has had a few.
Yeah.
What about Turtles? I mean, does Turtles not enter this category because of what they
because it's
are?
$100 $100,000. So I guess
Turtles is a
it's
different
category.
Turtles a different ad. We can't compare that because
I'm talking about putting it in the level of those nostalgia factor shows, right?
Yeah. Well, Turtles have never left us though.
No, yeah, I don't think you.
Transformer, I would say, would be second for longevity as far as recreations and stuff in movies and going on till today. And then it's got to be GI Joe and Masters Universe. Definitely never lost their fan. They had their own convention every year, and I know about it more since it wasn't far from where I live. But the Thundercats they just don't have it. But honestly, if we did a comparison on the census, there's got to be the least amount of Thundercats 9.8.
You're probably right, and maybe that's a supply demand issue. It's unsettling to me. I don't know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Unsettling.
Yeah.
Just thought I would check in on this one. It happened to hit the radar. Actual price that was a Canadian sale was about $1,100 and change. So it's a little down off the radar. Not the most thought about thing right now. I don't know where it's going to go.
That means it's buying time.
Yeah, I don't know what the peak is. I just happen to observe it felt low. Will it go lower? I don't know. This one was on the list, I don't know, a few weeks ago when it came out. Still strong on the raw market, almost $350 and a 9.8 for $1,000 and change.
I'm not surprised by this considering how hard this book was to get.
Yeah, I have no idea on how hard it was to get or what or why.
Wasn't it part of the Kickstarter? Yeah, it was a Kickstarter book. There was 4 other books or covers that they had. I think there was a Sienkiewicz cover. This wasn't an easy book to get, and it really flew under the radar.
No, but if you kind of talk about it, this and a 9.8 is now with the Hughes high books. I mean, he while being an exceptionally popular artist with our crew 5-6 years ago, he's not really continued to appreciate for some reason. His cheesecake art is just, it's not going away, but it's not hitting the new base for some reason. I don't know why. They're not looking for that. Maybe they're looking for first appearance. They're looking for different things. But it's a great cover, but it is now up there with Lost 23, Teen Titans 75, whatever other ones you want to list. It's a comparable price point now.
Yeah. Yeah. And not comparable print run.
It could be minuscule. I have
If the
no
flood
idea.
hits, I mean, CGC is obviously slow to get back to people these days, pretty much unless you're paying for a walkthrough, which you're probably not on this book.
Well,
You're
this
wait-
guy
you're
might have,
waiting.
whoever that is.
Maybe. I'm not exactly sure when it came out.
He could have snuck in and just got lucky and been fast tracking early in. Who knows? 'Cause I've seen people saying that their first one is not always their first out, and a little bit of random luck.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, Low still hasn't gotten his due. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
I saw that 9.8 for $1,000 and I thought about it, but I've just been I got too much on the radar, man.
Thank you for not sharing it.
Yeah, right. Somebody would have bought it.
Oh yeah.
That's all right. I'm sending you one that Ozzy may have a chance on if you can do
Sweet.
some magic. We'll see. I did a lot of Golden Age this week, man, because truthfully, Nico and I have been talking, and there's just not been a ton of auctions. Because a Golden Age, I like to track the auctions. Buy it now is a lot to track down, and the best offers and stuff. And I prefer looking at the auction data, especially in the Golden Age. But there was a ton. If you were an EC guy, there was a lot of EC very good type run stuff and stuff floating around. There was a lot more auctions than I've seen in a long time. I actually had more books and I cut it down. I only have three of kind of the pre-code Grails in my eyes that I've kept. This is one that is kind of on that list that if I were to buy one more, it might be this one. I just really dig the head and the bell. I love this one. So if you guys are kind of getting into expanding your taste, look at some of these things and just your brain will go, what am I watching?
Exactly. Men on drugs
Yeah.
that drew things 70 years ago.
This is not a popular book per se, but it was interesting to me. It's one I've not seen a ton of. Bondage cover, first doll girl, but a really cool kind of just skeleton type zombie cover. Just dug it. Felt I'd share. Nice Frazetta cover. Ghost Rider 3. He did several of these Ghost Rider covers. Kind of undervalued compared to some of his other stuff in my mind. Nice 5.0 copy.
Oof. Yeah, it's dope.
Ginger number 4 is kind of the reverse of the classic Archie cover. That's the headlights. This is kind of the tail lights cover, people will call it. So a 1.8 raw grade for $300. Now this is a nice presenting one, but it is kind of one of those second tier good girl arts that's starting to kind of move up towards the first tier. Threw this out here from my buddy Leg. Probably wishes you don't have this one, do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah, this was not a bad price.
No, I don't. Those really don't come up.
No, and if I would have seen it beforehand, I would have sent it to you. It's one of those. Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Tales of Terror annual. These freaking EC annuals are tough. I know we talked about it a lot on Vintage Voyage. This is a poor spine completely split. $750, guys. They are just tough to find.
Yeah, I can't believe there's 22 of them. I don't
It's not it's the second annual, I think. But I don't know why it's 22. Maybe it's issue 22 is an annual. I'm sorry, I'm not an EC master. Maybe DS is in the audience can correct me. This is a book that I don't know. I don't look for it specifically, but I never see it.
I'm surprised this thing even exists out there. Right?
Military Comics 1, First Blackhawk. This is a coverless copy. I can't say I've ever actually looked at the splash page because I've never seen one. It's kind of a nice splash page it's what caught my eye, honestly. But yeah, freaking Military Comics 1, First Blackhawks, which for the older generation was like the character. Big, huge guy. Following. If you're a military collector, it's one of the Grails. This is a coverless copy. honestly, it's not a terrible price in my mind. I don't know.
Doesn't seem to be a terrible price. No.
$350, and you just don't see them. Tony L has talked a few times. There's some Golden Age books that maybe the splash isn't always better than the cover, but there's several that it's an equally good one. Coverless Hulk 1 is not a terrible coverless book, So,
not at all.
Another one for Sean, Mad 1, good condition, just under $1,000.
That looks. I guess I can't see it, but with that color,
it's a really nice presenting one. I'm going to assume. I think this is pretty reasonable dealer. There's probably some internal issues, maybe a back cover issue. I didn't get in the weeds, but
yeah.
I mean, nobody's going to grade it good and not have a reason.
Detached to both staples.
Centerfold still?
Yeah.
I'd be all over that thing.
Listen, you can get a detached centerfold completely up to a 7 on the right book.
Yeah. I would not be tripping about that.
I went down this rabbit hole of CGC after watching some Etta Nick videos, and he talked about it, and I tested it. I got up to a 7 on a detached. Well, maybe not fully detached. One staple detached gets 7. 2 has a limit somewhere up there. So this one snuck by. Terrible listing. $550 for a 3.5 Batman 15 famous machine gun cover. Ugh. I would have snagged that in an instant.
That is a Batman 15 for $550. That bright of a cover.
A best offer too, so somebody might have snuck it even cheaper. I didn't dig into it because I didn't want to be heartbroken.
Too bad they had to use a magazine case on it.
That is interesting to me.
Just a little too big, man.
I'm betting there's a spine roll on the bitch because normally it'll fit.
Yeah.
It might just be a bad copy of spine roll, so somebody might get a freaking pressing upgrade.
Or the off, like the spine roll, or the way it's maybe rolled forward made it wider.
Yeah.
Than it would be. As you can
see normally they fit in a case, so there's something peculiar with that one. Is that my last one, McClay? Am I moving into your stuff now?
I think so.
I see nothing else on this checklist.
Tag, you're it.
All right, so I threw this one up there because it was another comic one. I thought this was interesting. This is Invincible issues 1, 2, 5 through 144 for $2,000, 36 bids. I probably, if I would have seen the number 1, I think that's a killer deal, right?
Maybe. Not bad. Depending on the condition. I mean, as long as it's not a beater.
It's also got Noble Causes the Noble Causes issue, which is the B cover, which is the homage to X-Men, which is impossible to find, and then even harder to find in decent grade. So I thought this was very interesting, and for $2,000, I think somebody could have got a really good deal depending on the grade of that one. All right, so this week I kind of did a dive into some art that was sold on eBay. This is an Humberto Ramos Ryan.
I didn't know we were doing art, my friend. Shit.
Right? $27,000 on 78 bids. Would you guys spend that much on a Ryan Stegman Humberto Ramos piece?
Oh, no.
And I know there's fans out there for everything. I'm not a big enough fan to pay that much for that piece, but who knows?
I wasn't that early on Dogecoin.
Yeah, right.
I think, man, original art's so tricky because people just have their things. Like there's classic covers, classic issues, but then there's people who just love artists.
Yep.
You love The Watcher, man. We all got our thing.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's why I asked, because that's woo. How about this? This is what I'm talking about. Original art, Captain America 206, page 6 by Jack Kirby, sold for under $3,000. Right, so you got a Ryan Stegman Humberto Ramos piece for $27,000, or a Jack Kirby page for $3,000. Feels like that should have been flipped, but I get it.
Somebody has a better marketing department.
Well, yeah. It's also. I mean, when you're buying original art, it's what are you getting? Yeah, that's not a splash page. It's not. There's so many variables in original art.
Yeah. Well, how about this one? Transformers. Issue 2, original comic art, page 4 with Megatron, sold for $1,600.
That I like.
I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that.
Shout out to Yeah, shout out to Ultra Maximus and all the Transformer fans out there. This one's pretty cool because you can see it shows all the
Sick, dude.
I actually dig. I don't look at the OA because it just makes me get in trouble. But I dig
what
that
am I
page.
doing?
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting, right? Here you go, John. You're gonna love this one. Frank Frazetta, Shock Illustrated, Came the Dawn EC 1954 original pencil art signed. Sold for $6,700.
Yeah, Frazetta.
That right there is freaking awesome.
I don't know what to say. Frazetta's tough. There's more counterfeit out there than I like to.
Oh, dude, the stuff his daughters post on Instagram, the Frazetta girls.
I mean, I love the stuff, but I just every time I read, there's a
God.
lot more counterfeit Frazetta out there than I want to take a gamble on.
Yeah. Well, this is getting into the art. This is a little less comic book and more, collectible. This is Nico territory, right? Banksy. So if you guys know about Banksy, he put out these bills into circulation that were 10-pound notes that he put Princess Di on. And they feel real, and he actually put them into circulation, right? And
that is awesome, dude.
yeah, and there was only so many of them that he put into circulation, and people kept some of them. And I always wanted one of these, man, but they were just expensive as hell. So people, that kept them are selling them, and here's one that sold for $2,700.
It's an interesting piece of pop art.
Now, did anybody go to jail for counterfeiting?
Well, they don't know who Banksy is, so they haven't caught him yet, I guess.
Well, if it's
But
not
somebody went to the store. Dude, if he did this all himself and then he got caught doing it and then was revealed as Banksy, it'd be better.
Oh yeah.
But I don't need him revealed though. I'm cool.
But it's not counterfeit if it's not exact, is it?
I don't know. In England, I couldn't tell you, but it's pretty damn cool. I'll say that for sure. We were talking about NFTs earlier, and one of my favorite artists, Jeremy Geddes, does these amazing astronaut pieces that I really like. Well, this is an artist that I just found, going through art on eBay, that I just love this piece. But this was sold as a print or an NFT. I can't figure out, but I would love to own this print. Look how gorgeous that is. I can't tell. It says it's a medium print, but they put here's what we were talking about, putting NFT in the title. It seems kind of shady, like the same thing where if you put not CGC in the title. But this is an actual physical piece that sold for $920.
Or that eBay rating.
Yeah.
Of 0.
Yeah, there you go. Or an eBay 1 of 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not good. That's not good. All right, so some more, that's some of the crazy art stuff, but let's get back into some of the other things. I thought this was interesting. 1989 Topps Nintendo Mike Tyson Punch-Out card, the little Mac sticker. Like, that is great, right? $61. But
I'd probably
cool.
buy that for just the nostalgia.
Exactly. Like that game, this was interesting. We showed the Superman card, the raw one that sold for so much a couple weeks ago. This is a PSA 10 card from the same set, sold for $1,500 in a PSA 7. Sorry, a PSA card, not a PSA 10. This is kind of interesting. Some Fortnite stuff. This is mind-boggling because whoever would have thought that these cards would be worth something? Well, they're worth a whole lot. This is Garbage Pail Kids. I always show you guys Garbage Pail Kids. This is one card that I wish I owned. This is the 2020 Topps Garbage Pail Kids Sapphire Atom Bomb card. Pop one, $2,750. And then the 85 Topps Nasty Nick sold for $50,000.
Nice. I found a bunch of Series 1 Garbage Pail Kids in my garage last week.
Nice.
Not a bunch,
bad at all.
like maybe 20 something, but I recognize them as my favorites. They're not gradable.
They're not near mint.
No, they're not. They were my favorites, and I found them finally after all these years. I'm pretty happy about it.
If my brother and I ever stumbled upon those, they would be beat to shit.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ronnie for the super chat. He says Pop Kills was a buy in $48 last year. I received a few different covers at CGC now. Thanks for the deep dives. Did you guys see the Department of Truth Rose Besh cover? And I did. Very cool.
I did. I like it. She's selling everything right now. I think it was a good buy-in. Some people, whatever, on store variants, but I think it was a great cover. So,
all right, more market report stuff. This is some Pokemon craziness. This is a Pokemon Neo Revolution factory sealed booster box sold for $26,600 with 49 bids, $500 shipping. Think they could have got free shipping on that. So this is something that really pisses me off. I've talked about weighing packs in the past, more along the lines of sports cards packs, but in the Pokemon world, weighing packs is something that is major. They do it on a lot of stuff. This is a heavy pack, all right, from the original base set, and heavy means it's probably got a special, foil card in it or something. Sold for $660. And then a Charizard Art Heavy Pokemon Shadowless base set booster pack. So another heavy pack from that sold for just under $1,000. So the weighing of pack things is so bad for this hobby. We talked about the Magic the Gathering searching last week, but it is what it is. So just be careful out there buying unopened wax and make sure or packs. So.
I mean, if you're going to spend that kind of money on something, you gotta gain the knowledge. I mean, we all spent time on the comics. I know Brian spends time on the toys and more cards, but don't wander in something you don't understand is, I think, the lesson here.
Amen. Here you go. We always make jokes about the Beanie Babies, but here is a 1997 Princess Diana Beanie Baby that sold for $25K, but only one bid, and they put worth $125K. So I don't know if it was real, but I just thought it was funny. We always make fun of when a Beanie Baby is going to start selling again. So here you go. Looney Tunes Daffy Duck Lego minifigure. We saw the Miles Morales one a couple weeks ago. This one, Daffy Duck, sold for $810 with 38 bids.
Why?
I have no idea. People in the chat and people watching the show on the replay, let us know in the comments why this Daffy Duck Looney Tunes figure sells for so much, because it's one of the packs you can get in the store that give a random minifigure from all those characters. So I don't know why Daffy Duck sold for so much. Absolutely crazy. Here's something that's pretty crazy. This is a Sonic the Hedgehog plush doll.
Oh,
yeah. Plush doll from 2012. It's the Knuckles plush doll, sold for $4,300 with 65 bids. You guys think that was crazy? What is actually more crazy than that one, if you guys are South Park fans, look at this. This is a South Park
Get the fuck out of here. No.
Yeah. South Park plush doll. This is a Tweak Shaking Plush Rare Tested and Working. Sold for $11,000, 15 bids.
Okay.
Make some money, you guys. Make some money. Like,
where were those even sold? Were those like, Comedy Central used to have a lot of shit that you could flip on eBay just on their website that people didn't know. Like a lot of stuff, hats and koozies and shit like this. It's probably where it came from.
Yeah, it could be some special they gave out at some event. Pretty crazy. All right, on to the next one. This was kind of interesting. I talked about these Toy Biz figures, especially the Spider-Man Toys Biz figures and the Fantastic Four Toy Biz figures. These were the figures that came out before they called them Legends. I think they're called them Classics. Just the loose, one of the loose figures sells for $112. But this blew me away. The Marvel Legends Black Panther unopened is selling for $102 right now, which absolutely crazy. They sell for this. They sell for crazy amounts loose too. So if you guys ever see these loose figures around, it might be worth checking them out. How about this one? Hot Wheels, The Simpsons, Homer, and Family Car, $6,000, 13 bids. Again, this could be something special. I don't know. Hot Wheels collectors are worse than Pokemon people at the stores. I mean, I remember when I used to collect, when I used to go get Star Wars figures, and I would go to stores, you know, when they opened to go check out the Star Wars figures, because I worked an overnight job, and I just on my way home, I'd stop there, and the Hot Wheels figures would get in fights, like fist fights, man, fist fights, crazy. But hey, if they're selling them for $6,000, I see why. That's absolutely bonkers. Here is some other interesting toys. This Kenner Batman figure from the animated series. I don't know why it sells for this much, but $300 for the combat belt Batman animated figure. Muscle Men, we talk about them. This is a set or a lot of Muscle Men. Sold for $200, but this is why. So this figure right here, it looks like he's holding a football, is one of the most famous, hard to find Muscle Men figures, called Satan's Cross, they call it. Yeah, that's the way they call it. But the reason why it's so hard to find is, and you make sure this is how you tell if it's one of those figures. You look at the back, and if it has that hole in the back, because in Japan, when they put this figure out, it had another horse. It was like a back half of a horse or something that attached to this. So that's how you know it's the actual Satan's Cross figure that they call it. So
yeah, I don't have Satan's Cross, but I got a bag of about 200 of them in the garage.
Yeah, man, they're great, and they sell for decent money. I turn them into magnets.
I know.
You made me some.
I know, yeah, hell yeah, man, they're dope magnets, right?
And Masters of the Universe does the crossovers with them for the slime trash cans and for the Super 7 exclusives.
Yeah. Spawn toys. So this is the 10th anniversary Spawn figure. These are selling $137, $142. Kind of interesting. But look at this. This is dropped. Spawn Kickstarter 3-pack is now selling for $400.
What was the buy-in?
I think it was
$190.
So still good. But what, it was like $800 at one point, I think they're selling
Probably
for.
Look,
if everybody's getting their shit in, if you're selling while the market is flooded, I'm keeping my Spawn tape on mine. I'm sad I didn't buy 2 because I want to open it. And then he added so many things like the signatures and stuff for the people that bought all 3, like as it went on and on, like Kickstarter tends to do. So yeah, I'm torn between opening it to check it out or just holding it to check it out. But you see all the Spawn tape on it and stuff like that. I mean, I really think that's pretty cool.
At this price, I'm almost thinking about buying one, and I missed it.
You might as well only double the price, and now you know all the shit you're gonna get. I'm telling you, it's pretty cool. I'm not even considering selling mine. And if you sell it now, and especially at auction, I just think it's the dumbest time because everybody has theirs. This is the biggest flood there's going to be.
Yeah,
hold off.
So I thought this was kind of interesting to get into some of the card stuff. This Panini 1973 OK VIP sticker. Why is this listed for so much? Or why did it sell for so much? I'm sorry.
It says he sold 7 of them.
Yeah,
so he's $7 million on that card.
What's wrong with this? It's an Enzo Ferrari sticker. Is this like the first Enzo Ferrari sticker? I don't know. Panini VIP Enzo Ferrari sticker. I just thought it was interesting because he's got it up there for, a shitload of money. But let's get into
a Ferrari fan. Maybe you can just afford it.
Yeah.
Dude, I buy a Ferrari. Why would I buy a sticker? You get like fucking 4 used Ferraris for that.
So the sports card market is absolutely continue to go bonkers. I just thought this was interesting. This somebody had a great, amazing set or a recent sub of Hall of Fame football player rookies that sold for ridiculous amounts. So you can see an 81 Topps Joe Montana rookie PSA 9 sold for just under $3,000. An 81 Topps Art Monk rookie PSA 10 sold for $1,600. An 83 Topps Marcus Allen PSA 10 rookie sold for $2,200. Mike Singletary rookie sold for $1,675, and a 30-year Joe Montana Gem Mint 10 sold for $1,400. These are all auctions, guys. 84 Topps Dan Marino rookie Gem Mint 10 sold for $5,000. An 84 Topps Elway Gem Mint 10 sold for $9,000. 2 Dickerson rookies PSA 10 sold for $1,600 and $1,900, and then an 84 Topps Howie Long PSA 10 sold for $1,200. Here's the crazy stuff. Stein and me, and we talked about Jerry Rice and the 86 Topps rookie and how hard it is to get in high grade. There is proof. A PSA 10 Jerry Rice rookie sold for $91,000.
No way.
20 times a 9?
Yeah. And that 9
18.
stuff is crazy, man. Like PSA 9s get $4,000, $3,500. And that's how rare it is to see a PSA 10 in that Jerry Rice.
God damn.
I thought it was interesting. That 87 Topps Randall Cunningham is one of my favorite, most underrated cards in all of cards. It's starting to get some love. A PSA 10 865. Here we go. The Bumblebee Miami Rock card, 42,000. Here are 2 similar cards for Emmitt Smith. The 89 Florida Gators Smoky card when he was playing with Florida sold for, in PSA 10, sold for $6,300. And my favorite, the 88 Burger King Florida Gators card in PSA 10 sold for $2,000. So I know that Emmitt Smith isn't the Rock, but these, some of these collegiate cards are really hard to find.
Ryan, why didn't you make me buy a Rock card back then?
Dude, can I real quick though, being a perforated card, I guess this is the same. I haven't looked into completely. I guess this would be similar to Sports Illustrated for kids. How is this like a cheat code? Do perforated cards just get 10s because they're not bent? In the
No, they're
card?
much harder. They're much harder to get 10s, man.
How do you get look? But look, I mean, look at the edges.
Yeah.
On there.
They use like protractor blades to cut each individual piece. I mean, it's crazy. So unless you're getting an uncut sheet and you're using a protractor to cut each individual little piece, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the preparation. Most of these cards don't even get graded.
Yeah, that's okay. All right.
It's crazy, bro.
In my head, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it could be a 10 because of the
I do know that the 1988 Burger King Emmitt Smith card was reprinted pretty heavily, but it's pretty easy to tell. I think it's missing either the Burger King logo or something else on the back. So if you guys are in the market for that Emmitt Smith card, do a little research on it. But great card. So, all right, here is some interesting stuff. All right, so I talked a couple shows back about these Prism stickers. I think I picked up a bunch of Batman and Rob Liefeld and Todd McFarlane, Prism stickers from the same type. And I said it reminded me of these. Now, these 85 Prism jewel stickers were given in those machines where you put your money in and it come in between 2 cards and, the sticker was in between. The Michael Jordan version of this is probably one of the toughest Michael Jordan card collectible things you'll ever find. It sells for ridiculous amounts of money, and it is from 1985. The only cards earlier than that are the 84 Star. So it came out before the 86, 87 Fleer set. But you can see this isn't even Jordan's and how rare they are and how much they go for. So that was pretty interesting. All right. And I'm going to end it for the craziness on the market report with this. Why are AMD Radeon RX 6800 XT, is it just the pick or these selling for $30,000?
I don't even know what I'm looking at.
It's two. These are two. For those of you guys don't know, these are 2 graphics cards. So graphics cards have gone up in price ridiculously because of Bitcoin mining and stuff like that. But also they're very hard to get because of the pandemic. But not $30,000. So if
another single feedback with only how do you have one feedback and only 2/3 positive?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that this has got to be. There's got to be something weird going on with this. I mean, I get everybody saying crypto and all this stuff,
but I mean, is that one card the only one you can get?
Well, it could be one of the ones that mines Bitcoin the most efficient, like Ultra is saying. But yeah, So DS, shout out to DS Comics. DS says that's for Bitcoin mining, and there's a massive shortage of those. Pop Archival says the same thing. So there you go, guys. You know, if the comic book speculation market's getting you down and pissing you off, you can go jump into graphics card speculation and make a little cash. That is the market report.
It was a hell of a market report.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some quick pickups. You want to do pickups?
Can the East Coast guys go first? Because we're,
let's do
sleepy.
it. Carter, you're up, brother.
Okay. All right. What are we starting with? Oh my God. I went dollar bin diving over the weekend. Holy shit. Check this out. So we got Avengers Academy #1. This is the 1 in 25 variant. First appearance of like 5 different characters.
Yeah.
Good book.
I'm like, I saw that and I'm like, holy, and I'm just like thinking, what the hell is wrong with it? No, it's a nice near mint book for $1. Holy shit. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. I had to share it one more time. Holy cow. All right. Also found this for $1 as well. Osborne #1. I think this is like maybe a 1 in 15 variant. First appearance of Toxie Doxie. This book was hot over the summer. It's not so hot anymore now, but you know what? That just means it's a good time to buy. You know what I'm saying? Also, we have Howard the Duck #9. I love how hot is this cover?
It's amazing.
I love this freaking cover. And I remember seeing this when it first came out and I didn't buy it. And I was just thinking, why didn't I? And then I had another chance to buy it. I jumped all over it. I think this was like maybe, I think this was like $20, a little over $20. So definitely worth it. Wonder Woman 204. This book is super duper hot.
Oh yeah, it is.
That's a nice Nubia, right?
Yeah. So this is a I think it's like a VG copy for I think a little over $50. And this was something I was definitely all over. And here's something that I'm really super duper excited about. So we have the Takara version of G.I. Joe Destro.
Wow. How much did you pay for that?
This was $168 shipped from Japan. This thing took 5 days to get to my house from Japan.
Damn.
Like
that is a score and a half, bro.
That was worth the shipping alone. And I remember I was looking at this figure a year ago, and it was like $100. And I was just like, oh no, you know what I mean? And then
$100 worth of shipping for 5 days, man.
Right?
Yeah, no shit, man.
Great score.
I paid $50 and waited a month.
Yeah. And so I just figured where I can find American Joes sealed for cheap, I'll do that. But I noticed that the American version of Destro is like $1,000 to $3,000.
Yep.
Sealed, ungraded. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I can pay like $3,000, or I can pay not even a fraction and get this still sealed up. Next best things, like exact same plastic. You know what I'm saying? Because I know India, Argentina, and like some other countries, China, like their plastic is like really just bad and inferior. But you can get the exact same thing. And then take a look at the back. But yeah, man, I love this.
Oh,
and I'm just collecting where I can. So
hell yeah.
And that's my haul.
Not bad at all. Right as your camera started shitting out.
The
Your camera is great, almost like a whole episode, right until that point. You gotta love it. All right, Z, you up.
I got a CGC haul. I had 25 books. I'm not going to show them all, but I'm going to show some highlights just because. I sent 3 of this guy, the Sea Lore Amazing Fantasy Parallel Urban variant. I ended up getting 198 and 296s. This was a cardstock cover. It had some little scratch defects. Nothing I could do. Weren't pressable. Kind of thought I was going to get 2 9/8 and a 9/6, but went the other way. It's okay. Happy to have it. Beautiful freaking book. This one was, I sent 3 Tank Girl ones. These were actually all casualties to a pressing order to Sean that took a big ass hit from the post office. At one point, I think I had a 9.4 and 2 9.2s. I ended up with a 9.2 and 2 8.5s. The whole damn box just got its ass kicked by them. So got them graded anyways, just in hopes that Margaret Roby does something with it. Couple more Turkish variants. I submitted 6 of these Hulk Cinars. I really like the X23 one.
Dang.
I got 5 9/8s and 1 9/6. So happy with that.
Those are Turkish?
Yeah. Print run a 250 on it.
There was someone in the chat earlier tonight asking if they would CGC would grade Turkish books. So
Pretty much.
the answer is yes.
They will. Yeah, pretty easy on it. Real happy with these damn things. A few months ago, we talked about them. These foil Abito 2 prints. They're actually Usagi 6s from IDW. I ordered 3, didn't even take them out of the bag, didn't touch them, sent them in. I got 3 9/8s. I was ecstatic. And this damn thing is gorgeous.
That is really nice.
That is a pretty book. If you're going to display something, it's nice, man.
I almost wish I didn't. I don't think I got there in time so I could only buy the remarked edition.
Those are still nice, man. It was a damn nice book. Let's see. A couple others. Sent an Invincible 5. Really pretty damn copy. This is the first Alan the Alien, who maybe people watching the show don't realize how big a character he is in the whole universe yet.
Look at the cover of 111, right? Isn't that him? Okay.
Had a little bit of a color rub, so I honestly think it was going to get a 9.4, but I got a 9.6. Pretty happy with that. Sending a few other just random things to get to the 25. I got a Clown Hunter variant 9.8. Again, like I said, every once in a while you get a book you don't need to press. Not very often, and you better have a hell of a cautious eye and not be cavalier about it. But,
angled light on those. Angled light.
Yeah, you got to look. I mean, I look at books usually 3 or 4 times before I send them. I put them in a pile and then look at them again and then look at them a 3rd time before I really feel good about it. I only brought the Virgin, but I sent in my Haha 2s by Wanted Comics, my buddy Drew. I ended up with 9/8s on a trade and 9/8s on the Virgin.
Nice.
Gorgeous freaking books.
Great set.
And then the last one is I'm going to show all 3 because this book is a bitch. Our friend Doc Joe submitted one he thought was in the 9s. He got a 7.5, and it was right before I got my grades, and I was like, oh, fuck me, I'm going to get my ass kicked. I submitted 3 of these guys. I have a handful, but these were the nicest 3 I had not graded. The Italian 300s. First one, I got an 8.5. I was thinking I had like 2 9.0s and an 8.5. Just because this book takes scratches so much. It's not even, you used to looking for color ticks and things like that. It's a cardstock cover. I've sent some to Sean. You've told me you can't do a hell of a lot with it.
It's tough. And then, like, dude, you're not getting it back without damage in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's a thick book, too. I mean, it's thick. It's cardstock. There's not a lot you can do with it. And a lot of these were just stored on a shelf. No bag, no board. So most of the notes I got were actually surface scratches and wear, not so much spine ticks. Got an 8.5. Was honestly not surprised by that. I got a 9.0. Was happy with that.
Yeah, that's nice.
And the one that I was thrilled about, because I'm a tough grader on this book after getting my ass kicked, because I've submitted several I thought were 9.4s. I finally got one.
There you go.
I believe there are 4 of these on the census because I don't think mine recorded yet. And somewhere in the last couple of months, some bastard scored a 9.6, but I don't know who it is. None of the foreign guys know who it is. At one point, I knew where pretty much every coppery, which was only about 10 of them, over 9.0 was, or 9.0 and above was. Between Matt, myself, Ozzy, Beggs, and Coy had a couple copies. I think there was 1 unknown out of 10, and now there's 2. And somebody's got a 9.6 that's freaking amazing. So
nobody knows who has a 9.6?
Nobody's admitted it yet, at least that any of us know. And I mean, if it's in the foreign community and nobody's talked about it, that's interesting to me.
Yeah.
So.
Sean, you got anything?
Really? Yeah, I got some stuff. So I started cleaning out the garage, and I was going through some old cards. Most of the good ones are gone, for whatever reason I don't want to get into. But so I found like in an old box a labeled 1990 Fleer baseball set, and so it was just all, just laying on the side of the box, looked brand new, and I didn't put it together myself. I know I bought it that way, so I checked eBay real quick to figure out the Griffey number, so I didn't have to look through the whole damn box. So I found like an untouched, like absolutely beautiful 1990. I immediately just walked inside and just drew it in there. I didn't use microscope or anything like that, but just one of my favorite cards. It's like, it's the sweatiest rookie he has.
Did you check your Ripken? Did you check your Ripken?
I didn't, but like that was so popular back then, and I know that I got a good deal. I remember, like, I don't remember exactly, but I know I got a good deal on the card show. Like, there's no way that it's going to be that. But that's a good call. I definitely need to check the Ripken. But so I came in, and so it's nice to find something like that in your own garage. So
is that Ken Griffey or Ralph Tresvant from New Edition?
After a show, it's Ralph Tresvant. So there you go. So I got the Griffey. Give a shout out to my boy on Instagram, Martian Comic Hunter, David, because he sent me this shirt. So I got a
that's cold. That's cold.
So I'm super excited. I mean, pretty much watching everything I do, or you can see my logo. Everybody knows what a big Raiders and Masters of the Universe fan I am. So, I've definitely pressed some Masters of the Universe for him, and we've done some good stuff. So I had to, as soon as I got it today, I had to put it on for the show. Even though my shirt's not completely visible through the show, I definitely had to give a shout out and pickups. The only other cards I got, you don't that often have luck on Panini.com or the app. I was able to check out with 5 blasters of hoops. If you ever thought me I would purposely pay $50 a blaster for some NBA hoops, you thought that I'd have told you were crazy. But they're not worth a lot more than that. But hey, they're like the only cards that I've almost been able to get this year for basically, face value or whatever, you know what I mean, like retail price. So I got 5 hoops blasters. I don't know if I want to sell them, throw them in the closet. I don't know if I want to open them, but I haven't been finding any cards at retail at all. So not opening them gets really, really hard. So I don't know. Probably open a blaster. Just because MCS, the only raws I got, I grab this when I find them cheap. So the Danger Girl 3, Adam Hughes. So this seems to be, I found it online, listed as very fine. Thought it would be good. I picked these up too. These are good. Any of the second prints from Deadpool run. So this is second print of Deadpool 51. I always find those to be pretty decent pickups whenever I find these. Anything with Wolverine and Deadpool on it for cheap, just go ahead and get it. Like, why not? There's another raw in there. This guy. I found a pretty beat copy for what I consider a decent price. This thing was like a 2.0 and it was like $500. But at the same time, a 3.0 sells for like $1,000 now. I have no idea, but like if you're paying market price for these days mega keys, you're not really going wrong. Like it's just month by month goes up. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't have to sell it yet. But any of these, I mean, they're decent investments, right? So I'm going to give another shout out to another gift, but it was probably a year ago or something. So it was before on here. But if you guys know Daryl Miller is a great presser. He's got freaking issues on Instagram. Follow. He's got freaking issues. He's got great videos and pickup videos and stuff. He remember from the UD days that I was a Death's Head fan. So he had sent me a Death's Head's Gold 2. And I think I literally think before I used to come on here much or even if at all. But the reason I brought it up tonight is because I did okay on some auctions. We got Dennis out there. If he's still listening, he'll be happy that I went with some CBCS books. So I won a bunch of slab auctions. So we got a cool like a Death's Head 2 #1. This is just shit that I like, and when I get it for the right price at a 9.8, it's always gonna go home with me. And that was literally, I think, $37, and even cheaper. Death's Head fights himself, #5 in a 9.8. Because why the hell is Death's Head gonna fight himself? You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and it's Death's Head 2 versus Death's Head 2. So,
and those are hard to get in high grade.
That's what I figured, man. And they were like, I think 30. MCS had a lot of modern auctions that I thought went low. I think people did too cheap as shit. So the #5 was $23, and the #1 was 37.
Wow, not bad.
Yeah. So also I went more CBCS, more childhood, just screw it shit to buy.
Man,
So get some good old Turok.
Polo Wookie is gonna freak out.
I know Carter's with cool. He said he was cool with Valiant last time, and so also my aunt and uncle. It's kind of a weird one. They bought me a gift certificate to the comic book store that was close to us for $40, and I spent the whole $40 on a Magnus Robot Fighter 12, and this is 1990 whatever, right? So I always decided, and so I went with the cheapest Magnus Robot Fighter 12 9.8 I could find for about $120, and I was like, now I never have to think about buying it again. Now I just have it, and I still have that copy, by the way, the one that I spent my whole $40 gift certificate on. So that also with it seemed to have taken off last week, but the first Sojourner. So pretty good deal on the Far Sector 8. Another auction win, and more of the Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. This again, I won. It's like 30 something bucks. I mean, you barely grade it for that much. So I did what I thought was good on these MCS auctions. I didn't win any big books, but that one was cheap. And then these 2 Deadpool books. I mean, 2 books that I love. And just such a great, that first Deadpool series is so great. So doing the Superman 75 on it, homage, Funeral for a Freak. Now this was $30 something. I used to sell these raw for $30 or $40 on eBay all the time. So like Old Habits Die Hard. If you find these late issues of Deadpool somehow, which you don't seem to find in the back bins anymore, I have no idea why someone would let me win this for $30 something. And same here. Even like a Michelangelo. This is 62, I think, or 63. So you know what I mean. So these old Deadpools, man. Finding them in 9.8s. I don't know how these auctions ended at $30 something, but
that's nuts for Deadpool in a 9.8. That's nuts.
It was seriously 60. They're 33 each. I left the invoice in here so I can remember how much. I just dropped them all. Shit. And this one I did pay more for, but second prints are cool. But I always wanted a 9.8. So we got the Ghost Rider 15, 9.8 here, and this one was 70 something. But like
score,
I think it sells for over 100. I don't give a shit. I just can't wait to make it glow in the dark. But I just opened it and I have
That's a great buy right there. Great buy.
That's what's important to me. And a few back from a sub real quick. These are coming. Shout out to the Modern Spec Show again. So did get some the Killmonger 1 second print 9.8s, and this my own sub. So got that. more Hawkeye ones because why not? And the Venice Beach, of course. This I didn't think it was higher. I was just praying for a 9.8, but this is the fifth print, right? Yeah,
Not bad.
This is the fifth Batman one. Finding these late prints in high grade, 9.6 is not a terrible grade for this book.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I always prefer 9.8. It doesn't sell for a ton of money, but it did. This was the highest selling Batman one after a couple of years after release because it was the hardest to find. This I knew this wasn't a 9.8 because of the conditions in 9.8, but there's a little bit of foxing on the back. And so I threw it in there just to honestly to kind of see where they were going to like treat the foxing and stuff. It's really probably way too hard to see it on camera on here. So I didn't expect a 9.8 or anything like that. So I'm actually happy with the 9.4. And two more also Deadpools that I graded myself. In underrated, I like the crossover, so we go with the Heisman, work with the mouth. Number one, there is a sketch variant of this, but I like the color variant just as much. It's just not as rare, so it's not going to sell for as much. But I did that, and a variant. Yes, I'm finishing with the Rob Liefeld cover of the Deadpool Corpse.
Yeah, it's a great cover. I love that cover.
Great cover. I love it. So, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's
not bad. I love those last two books, man.
Yeah,
great books. Absolutely perfect. All right, let's do this quickly. I got this. I saw this and just had to have it because it's such a gorgeous cover. I usually don't buy exclusives very often unless they're just absolutely awesome. This is an Alan Qua variant for Dead Days. Limited to 300, I think. So just absolutely look at that. I mean, that cover is just great.
It's awesome, dude.
Yeah, that's one of the most coolest covers I've seen in a long time. So I thought that was really cool. This next couple of books, I love the Marvel 25th anniversary books, and I collect all the homages to them. And Kaboom did I think 4 or 5 homages for the Adventure Time series, and I pick them up whenever I see them. This one,
that's cool, dude.
Okay.
Yeah. And then this one, and they're variants. So sometimes they're a little bit more than the normal, but they're super super dope. And then last but definitely not least, I want to give a shout out to Jeff on eBay. I purchased these on eBay, and I don't want to give his last name, but Jeff, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. When I made the purchase, he hit me up and he's like, "Is this McClay from Flipside and CBSI crew?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay, cool. I thought so." And then when I got my books, this is the book I bought from him, the Obsession newsstand. Mm-hmm. And he threw these in for free, which was really cool. The Star Wars #2. Is this the Whitman or I think this might be, I haven't opened it yet. I think this might be the action figure pack variant, but I'll take a look here in a second. But this one was really cool to get for free, which I thought was awesome. The Deadpool second printing. Yeah.
That is
nice.
That's right. This book is going crazy right now, and I was really stoked to see it in there for free. So Deadpool #6, the second printing. Shout out to the Modern Playbook crew for talking about this one recently. So Jeff really did me a solid. So it's always nice to see that stuff showing up for free every once in a while, right? Yeah. So all right, guys, 210 live viewers at the end of the show. I want to say thank you for everybody who joined us. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit that bell. Tomorrow morning, new Spec 10 will drop early in the morning. And then, of course, you got Comic Book Women Tuesday night. Make sure you guys check them both out. And don't forget to send Mighty Mel V some love. Send him some positive thoughts. They recently had to put down their dog, Chloe. So make sure you guys shoot him a message. Other than that, we'll see you guys soon. Peace.